What's up, people? It's another edition of the Moodring Podcast, the world's best quasi-new metal adjacent podcast from two dudes who are really there. One half of your hosting duo, Jay Horskow. With me, I have my partner in crime, the notorious TIM, Tim Manager Jr. Tim, how goes it?
Oh, wonderful.
Well, we are wonderful. And you know what else is wonderful? The fact that we have our guest lined up. I don't even know how to introduce this guy. Producer, musician, singer, guitarist extraordinaire. He's touched almost every great album that Tim and I have fallen in love with in the last 36 to 48 months. Glad to have him back on the show. It's been a minute. Hunter Young, thank you for joining us once again.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are stoked. Tim, I was telling Hunter right as we got on that you weren't on yet that he literally has touched all the great stuff that we've talked about. Weeping, we talked about Drown Under Concrete, how everything he seems to touch we fall in love with, and whatever gift he's got in his fingers, it's working because everything is fantastic. That new Body Box album, fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you find the time, dude. I don't know how you find the time.
So, truthfully, I just load up on a bunch of it at once, and it waits around forever, and then it seems like I'm doing way more than I actually am. So it all kind of hits at one time. But I have a lot of downtime, especially like with health stuff. Weeping and Body Box have both been sitting around forever, and then for whatever reason, they both just took forever to come out. And then Drown Under Concrete did not take long. We did that in a couple of days, and I literally took this mic and laid on the floor and just said press record, and I did the whole album in one take. I think we turned it in. We turned it in like a day later. So, yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's fantastic. And that, I mean, comparatively to what that came out with this year, you have that in the same vein, Killing of a Sacred Deer. The new Gut Rectomy album came out, the new Psycho Frame, right? I mean, there's so much great shit in that. I don't even want to call it slam because it's better than that. I
Nah,
don't know. Hunter, how would you, if you had to describe it, how would you chalk it up?
Drown Under Concrete is a slam band. I mean, we're literally just ripping off Devourment. It's it's that simple. It's just maybe sounds a little more clear than it used to. Even though I'm using a lot of the same gear. Killing of a Sacred Deer obviously is, one of my singer's other band, and that's
Mhm.
deathcore. Psycho Frame is a deathcore band. We just are, half of us are older, so there's some other influences there. It's not deathcore influenced by deathcore. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's really where the difference lies there.
I got to tell you, so I'm not a drummer. None of my buddies are drummers. And we all share Leo's videos back and forth
Dude, he's fucking
because I remember seeing him with
Crazy.
Worm Shepherd back in the day. He looks so, the only word I can come up with is nonchalant. And he's just blasting away. And he's like, whatever. He looks like he's not even breaking a sweat. It ridiculously impressive.
I
Yeah.
feel bad for him right now because a lot of those videos he's posting are from the Psycho Frame like when they were on the Malevolent Speed Dying Wish Europe run, like huge tour for Psycho Frame's first run. Obviously, wish I could have been there. Um, a lot of the comments are like, "Oh, he looks bored." He was really injured on that tour. Like he got wrist surgery like 4 days
Oof.
before it. So
Oh,
he's
God.
so he's always low key when he plays. Like he's conserving energy because he's fucking going insane, and he's learned that.
Right.
Well, if I stay composed, I'm not gonna gas out. He's essentially learned what you learn when you're training to fight or run. He's learned athletics essentially, but he picks that over showmanship, and sometimes he lets loose, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's sick. But on that tour in particular, he was definitely out. He was hurting. So, I hate seeing the comments being like, "You look bored." And I'm like, "Dog, he's
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? He's dialed in. Look at John Longstreth. There's shows where he looks bored. Adam Jarvis. I put Leo in that same bucket of those guys who you can tell when they're mentally showing up for battle because they sit straight up. It sounds like such a weird tell. But when
done."
you got a drummer sitting straight up, you can tell that they're literally their brain is going in multiple directions at the same time,
Well,
hitting all the notes.
bro is 6 fucking 7 too. So, yeah, no, he if he didn't, he would have even more injuries. I compare Leo very often to Kevin Durant. He has a very similar build, and he's also very injury prone. So I'm always like, he's got that KD build. Like,
Mm.
can't let the Achilles go, man. Be careful.
I,
Um,
I remember seeing some comments on some of the videos like, oh, he's not really playing that. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Idiots.
And then he has to put a video up like, yeah, actually I'm, and then he like shows you, and it's like, come on, dude, you guys sound ridiculous right now.
It's the
Well,
worst part about the internet is it gives every asshole a voice, an equally weighted voice. That's the worst part.
it used to drive me insane, and now I don't care anymore. Like the
Yeah.
whole, like, I mean, obviously, here to talk about the album that's coming out, but on the Psychoframe note, like we used to like really play heel. I mean, like our whole online presence was very, heel adjacent. We were just fuck you, fuck all the other bands, because it was fun. Well, then when it became a full time band, I was like, hey, we have to stop doing this. And as the band got larger, I was like, how many people do you want to argue with every day? I was like, I have to ignore,
Yeah.
I don't care if they're wrong. Like no one wants to sit there and be a, actually motherfucker all day. So I gave up. They can think whatever the fuck they want.
It's
Well,
it's usually people who are just straight jealous of the talent and the record and all. It's just people suck, man.
I don't even know if it's that or if they want engagement. We live in that weird era where people are so desperate for it that they like have to use negativity for it,
True.
like to farm it. So
it's
it's
aura farming. Just fucking be nice, you jerk off. So I do want to talk about the album coming up, but we haven't talked to you in a bit, Hunter. So I just have one question, which
yeah.
might turn out to be a long one. What are your thoughts on the last Deftones album?
Oh fuck.
It's crazy that you said that because I was literally going to ask him at some point in this.
I I don't like it as much as I think I should. Um, it smokes fucking ohms and gore. That's for goddamn sure.
Agreed.
So obviously, what the fuck's the big song of that record called? I can't remember.
My mind is a mountain.
I don't like that one.
Wow.
Second single, Milk of the Madonna, which is Swerve City but better, essentially.
Yeah.
I really fuck with that song because they're just jamming, Um, there's a song off that record that popped off. It's just like this simple like palm muting riff. It's like dun, 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 like it's got those harmonics in it.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's almost like I don't want to say it reminds me of like Snapcase or something, but like in like a Deftones way. Um, that song is really cool. I don't. What I don't like about that record is when they try to like throw it back to the like more around the first stuff, it feels really forced and bizarre to me.
Hmm.
But when he's embracing like his more like goth influences, like the more like Interpol's like slash like the Cure stuff, that's what like feels natural and good to me. Um, yeah, I don't. I think I'm over like wanting the stuff I grew up on to recapture it because it always feels weird. Like maybe just find something new that you're happy with and good at. I just um I like the back half of the record a lot more than I like the front half.
I think that's a consensus with a lot of people, honestly. I think the one thing about that record is the lush parts are back because in ohms, well, not really on ohms, but like gore, they were completely gone.
Yeah,
I hate the half of that record. I hate, and that's
yeah,
really tough for me to say because that's my favorite band ever. But like, I think the lush moments are back on this new record, and that's what I wanted to hear. Because when I heard the first single, I was like, God damn, dude, like that's the Deftones. I need it right there. Because gore is just I just can't listen to that second half of it. It's terrible.
I got one. I think I like one song off that entire record.
It's probably what prayer triangles.
Oh, on Gore, Paris Triangles, Phantom Bride's sick, Jerry Cantrell. And last track on the album, Rubicon, with a good mix, that's a top 20 Deftones song, in my opinion.
I
Yeah.
gotta listen to that then.
Yeah, that song is actually so good if you can get past it. I actually started thinking of that song more of like Team Sleep esque.
Uh,
And I was like, okay, that's Steph is not in the picture. It's Chino. If Chino's gonna Chino,
Mhm.
he's gonna do the MBV thing. So that's cool. Dude, I just kind of think they were fucked no matter what coming off of the Diamond Eyes into Koi run, and then they obviously make a lesser production record. They were, I think they could have put out a great album, and no matter what, like they were kind of fucked. So,
Fair.
um,
Fair.
I
Okay,
like
so
I wonder
like
how
Gore
much
more
of it
than
is getting older too, though.
yeah, dude. I mean, I like Gore more than I like Ohms.
Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and listen to both now because now I don't remember.
I literally like one song on Ohms. Headless is a great song, but that's about it for me. And it sucks too because I fucking Terry date.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" And it came out, and
Like,
yeah, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so let's talk about an album nobody's gonna be making that face about. So we're recording this in early January. This I think gets announced on Thursday. Moodring's new album is finally coming out on March 27th. The title is Death Fetish. For those of you watching this video or listening to our podcast, Tim and I have heard it, and all I can say is, my God, Tim, like Hunter, literally, we were. It was, did you listen to it? Did you listen to it? Did you listen to it? Holy fuck, did you listen to this? And then you could see the results change in real time of like, yo, did you get to that? Did you get to that part? Are you fucking kidding me? Like our whole chat history was like that. So Tim, I'm gonna throw it to you to start. Like what first thoughts, all that sort of stuff. I got some notes here, which I just want to pick Hunter's brain on. I'm blown away.
Yeah, man. So obviously Your Light Fades Away is just that was a top record for me when it came out. I forget exactly what year that was, if you can remind me.
Your Light Fades Away was a 3-song release in May 2023. So
Yeah.
on that note, everyone stop acting like it's been 5 years since we put out music.
That
It hasn't.
that 3-song EP is fucking banger, banger, banger. Like
Dude,
that is some of the best stuff. Like, and Jay will tell you, man, I'm not just saying this because you're on. I know everyone says that, but dude, that 3-song EP, I think I listened to that like 7,000 times that month it came out. That shit is incredible, dude.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
you pushed the genre so far with that I think a lot of people heard it and they were like, dude, how the fuck do we match this at all? Like, how do we even come close to matching this? And I'm like, I can't think of one band that's even came close to it.
You can steal it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go. The full length, is I love the full length, but dude, the 3-song EP, man, I don't know what you were on. Like,
the
I'm not
3-song
saying
EP
this
smokes that
drug-wise.
entire LP. Like I am very of that opinion. I've always been of that opinion, dude. The thing about Your Light Fades Away was Austin came to my house and we were like, okay, let's bust these songs out. They were supposed to be for this big anime, so we had very little time, like biggest anime on the fucking planet, and I was like, this is what the band needs. This is finally gonna be that moment of exposure. We wrote those 3 songs, I think, but it was in less than 24 hours
Holy shit.
during a hurricane, and we were on sicko mode, man. Like we were just caffeinated and going and just not thinking about it. Just kind of like let's fucking go. And then took a couple weeks to write vocals with some homies, and then I tracked all 3 songs vocals one day at his house as well.
Damn.
So that should happen like this. Cannot say the same for Death Fetish. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and going to that, man, like I think that's kind of an extension of the EP, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but the songs are they're just fucking angry, man. And I just love it.
I think where you get like, I personally like whatever the listener hears is like completely valid, right? But I definitely feel like what happened with Your Light Fades Away was really, I'd always been preaching like Moodring will be whatever the fuck it wants to be. It's not going to be locked down to one sound. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. That just like Your Light Fades Away like really set that up, and then going forward, that's just that moniker has just really stuck. So we didn't think sonically like, okay, let's keep doing this. It was just like, let's just do whatever the fuck we want, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you got to put out stuff that you like, not everyone else. I'm sure you know that, but
it took me a while to learn that. You know, I I actually think I kind of have a history of my first LPs not being very good or being as good as they could be. I'm not the sophomore slump guy. I kind of dropped the ball the first time. And then the second time I'm like, here, let's fucking go. At least in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've broken that curse finally.
I mean, Stargazer is equally as good, but in a different way for me. Because obviously, when that record came out, man, I mean, we were talking to you back then. Like that record is a fucking banger. Like it's just the newer stuff is just on another level where it's just hard to explain. Like people listen to it. Like I've sent like the dude from Step Out. It's like, you ever hear Moodring? He's like, no. A week later, he messages us and he's like, fuck you guys. I can't stop listening to this. It's all I've listened to.
So that's where that came from. They hit me up all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? John Crobby's son plays drums
Yep.
and stuff.
Yeah, Ian's your drummer. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't think of his first name for a second. I have terrible memory and all sorts of stuff up here, so excuse me. Yeah, no, I remember that. Dude is super sick. I've seen him play along the Moodring songs before, and I'm like, this is sick.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. He's like, dude, I'm obsessed. I'm like, I told him, man. Like,
yeah. So to that point, I mean, Tim, to bounce off what you just said, when you look at everything you've done up to this point with this Project Hunter, I think this is the most mature step you've taken. I got notes all over the place. Like, it is hard to write an aggressively beautiful album, and I would go as far as to say that this album has it. I mean, I mean, I could bounce all over the place, right? Like, when Tim and I talk about it, you got to be able to write a fucking hook, right? It does, even if it's an aggressive hook, it's a mosh part. You got to be able to write a hook. The hooks you put in, what's the track name here? STFA, unbelievable. I think the stuff you do, here we go, Ketamine, right? Like, what a beautiful break, right? 4 or 5 songs in. The mosh breakdown in Cannibal, like at the 3-minute mark. There's where was the other really sick thing? You do a scream into a breakdown. I think it's a 2-minute 20 mark in STFA. Like this, but people are going to listen to say, "Oh, is this all aggressive?" No, I mean the vocal effects on Gunplay, right? That's an earworm. That's a pleasing song to listen to. I think my wild, uninformed opinion, I think Masochist Machine, all it needs is a DJ, a radio DJ with some balls to say, hey, I can get this on the radio, because I have a note here of this is the perfect example of a song that can push what would work on the radio and actually get notoriety for it. The contrasting of the vocals with the chorus, like what's his name? What's the guy's name from Liquid Metal? Jose Mangan, if you're listening, God, I mean, first of all, thank you for listening. Please put this fucking thing on your station,
dude. Help me, bro. He always spins like something from every release, and yeah, this one hasn't gotten much love yet. So it's gotten a little bit of like terrestrial radio love, but he has not. I don't know if this one's on his radar yet.
Oh, we're gonna make it on his radar.
Yeah, we're gonna beat people over the head with it. But in all seriousness,
dude, everyone shits on XM radio, but it pays the most out of anything in the entire world. Like if you were constantly, like, consistently spun on XM radio, you're paying your bills. Like, and maybe then some.
Wow.
So, yeah, XM pays a lot.
And their DJs aren't bad.
Yeah, I'm always sitting there listening to XM, and I'm like, dude, they need to give me a radio show, because I could play because I mean, in my head, I'm like, oh, I know all the good shit. I could fucking run a great radio show there, and it's like,
someone informed me there is a new metal channel now.
Yes,
really?
Turbo. Yes.
Oh and my god.
Him, me, you, and Hunter, the 3 of us doing 2 hours a week. No offense to their current DJs, I'm sure they're pretty good. Our knowledge alone would smoke 99% of what the stuff is on there. They have new metal adjacent stuff, right? Your Marilyn Manson gets thrown in, your Tool gets thrown in, it makes sense, right? It was adjacent. But then sometimes they play some stuff where I'm like, what? Like, what? Where? But there's also a part that I'm going to admit I don't understand. Like, what does it mean with licensing? Can they play shit like Human Waste Project? Can they play shit like that some on the the edges of stuff, like some of the Ultra Spank catalog, which I think some of it isn't even, the second album isn't even on streaming. Uh, it's not bad. Not as the programming isn't as good as Liquid Metal, but yeah, we could have a lot of fun with the show on that station.
I'd love to, but also like, at what point do I want to gatekeep the good shit for myself? You know, how much sauce can I give away? I did an interview earlier where they're like, the influences, and I was like, you're not gonna know like what I'm talking about. I asked them, and this is no shot at them; they're super nice people. I said, well, what's it sound like to you? And they went, you know, and one of them
Deftones.
Was like, no, I didn't get Deftones.
Okay.
It's fucking over. Finally, God, thank you. Curse that fucking tattoo on my face. That's finally over. One of them, in reference to STFA, brought up Motionless in White, and I was like, well, let me ask you the question: have you ever heard the band Orgy? Because they were talking about the vocal delivery in the verses. I was like, I'm biting Jay Gordon. And they're like, no, we don't know what that is. I was like, well, go check it out. So, yeah. I mean, especially Candy Ass, you know?
I was just going to say, are you a fan of the two records after Candy Ass?
I can't. What the fuck is the name of the one after?
Vapor Transmission?
Like half of it. My roommate / studio partner, Brandon, that's his record. He loves it way more. He likes how they, actually go for it, where Candy Ass kind of drags more. But what I'm looking for is kind of that like slow thing with that band. So it's just two sides of the coin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, have you heard the Punk Static Paranoia record?
He literally asked me this before I walked upstairs. That's so funny.
Dude,
just
good.
Randomly.
So good.
I have in passing. It's definitely something I need to deep dive for sure.
Yeah, you really should, man. It's so good. I mean, Candy Ass obviously is there's no bad track on that record.
It's iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. But Punk Static, to me, man, like, it's not as well written, but goddamn, that record's catchy, man.
Fuck it, yeah. I mean, I will definitely get into it.
Speaking of Jay Gordon, we had him lined up. He didn't show up. I was so upset at that, man.
I just my buddy went and saw Orgy, all OG lineup, pop up and play the Blue Monday cover, Stitches, and one other song. They only played 3 songs, whole original lineup, and Jay was in LA and he didn't play with them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but apparently their guitars can just sound identical to him, so I don't know. He said it was still very much enjoyable.
Are you a fan of Julian K?
Yeah.
That new record is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to listen to it more. My listening recently has been really low. I need to get back into it.
As a producer, Hunter, like, do you find yourself avoiding certain things because you don't want to bite it, or like, because I know we've interviewed people before who said, yeah, when I'm in writing phase, I try not to listen to much in the same vein because I don't want to inadvertently steer. Like, how does that work for you?
100%, because I will subconsciously bite it and then have to go back and try to make it original, or I'll go past it a little bit. So, for instance, like, I don't know, like, you can look at Death Fetish and overall you can say, is this a new metal record? Yes, it is. Does it have songs that aren't new metal? Yes, it does. But I wasn't really sitting there like, oh damn, I want to sound like Korn. It's really more influenced by the stuff that is like arguably not new metal. Not arguably. It's really influenced by like the stuff that was adjacent, that was industrial metal, like your Spine Shanks, of course I led with it, god damn it, Static X, and like Fear Factory.
Yeah,
it's
Pitch
not
Shifter.
syncopated. Yeah, dude, I fucking love Pitch Shifter.
Oh, the .com album is the perfect munging of, hey, let's take what we were doing, slap some kind of dancey, truly like big room dance stuff, and let's see where it goes. Yeah,
dude, I have some stuff that is newer than Death Fetish. We actually recorded back in August, and it's definitely pretty Pitch Shifter inspired.
Jesus Christ, you do not stop, man.
No.
Dude, this record has been cooking for so fucking long that I got to this like point where I was like, man, I gotta like do something else. I've been sitting listening for so fucking long that in my brain it's come out, it's passed, it's
Mm.
done its thing, and then I keep having to like take myself and re-immerse myself back in it, be like, no, the work isn't done. Like that's how fucking long I've been sitting on this shit.
Yeah, you
So
could see that too. Like what your post, you're like, all right, fuck it, we're doing it. It's coming out.
dude, you'll see. I mean, obviously, everything gets announced in a matter of hours from now. So the rollout is not long. Finally, so it's comes out on March 27th. So it's like let's fucking get there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Are you putting it out on through Sharptone?
Yeah.
Good label.
Yeah, we're doing it through Sharptone. We'll see how it goes. A lot of people who are waiting around for a new Moodring, I think have moved on to other stuff. So it almost feels like starting over, and that's cool too. You know, I don't have
Yeah.
not going into it with these like preconceived notions or like feeling like I deserve X amount of anything. Like I made this record for myself. It's very personal and dark, so I wanted. If fucking no one listens to it, that's cool too. But
I would be quite surprised if that happens, and I
You're not gonna
think
have that problem.
uh, knowing all the stuff that you've touched, Hunter, and all the things you work on, all your different projects, this sound is, I'm not going to say it's an amalgamation because it's not equally weighted, but you can hear, well, this is when he had a little bit of more deathcore on his mind, or this is when he was really into the new metal aspect of things. And I think that it's one of those albums where, yeah, you can listen to it by itself and it sounds great. If you listen to it in the context of Moodring, it sounds fantastic. If you listen to it in the context of I'm going to use a big word here, your oeuvre, right? Then it really makes sense because all those little seasonings went into the meal. I'm struggling for a metaphor here. And that's the first thing that I caught is like, this is Hunter pulling from, he's literally in the closet, pulling out all the different strings of influence that just happen to be rattling around, and it works. It really works.
when Austin and I were making it, it was interesting because I had become around the time of doing Your Light Fades Away. I'd gotten much more confident in my voice as opposed to Show Me the Real You and Stargazer, where I was very meek, and I think that's where a lot of the Deftones comparisons came from as well, because I was scared to sing. I was singing quietly and softly, whereas when we got to Your Light Fades Away EP, I was like, oh, fucking send it, sing motherfucker. And then again on this one, but with this one the difference was I wanted to like take on personas, like given whatever needed whatever was needed to serve the song. I like wanted to take on like literal personas. Like so say for instance the track Bleed Enough and Sick Fuck, like that voice I'm using on those, Austin and I literally call that Bert, as in like Bert and C. Bell. So or if it was too Bert, he'd be like, nah, I bring out Max, like Max Cavalera, or the the more strained, like I hate to use this term, but it's gonna be the term, like the more butt rocky voice I'm using on stuff like Cannibal, Gunplay, Oxidized. I mean, that was code. What was the code for that? It was bring out Aaron Lewis. So obviously I'm not as good as Aaron Lewis, but that was like we had a character for everything. The high screams were do Frankie, Frankie Palmieri. So always there was a fucking persona for every single thing that it needed to, and it was almost like color coded. It was fucking wild.
When I was one night I was sitting here and you guys put out the video for Red Light District, and it was like, what was it? You guys were doing the live sound over that, right?
Yeah. It was from the show or whatever.
Yeah. So that day that I see it was whatever day came out, I was watching it. It was like a Friday night or some shit. Anyway, the moment I realized that you were like really confident in your voice is that second chorus of that when you pitch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, shit is incredible. Like that made the whole fucking song for me there, because when you listen to it on the record, it's great.
It's low key. Yeah.
The way that you pitched up on that and it just felt more personal for you, I'm like, dude, that's fucking incredible, man. Like that shit sounds incredible, dude. So that, to me, that's when I feel like you found your voice, in my opinion. But like, I don't know how you feel about that, but
So around that time, I was working with Iris.exe, aka Madeline Munsell, like a lot. Cause I was on tour and I was just kind of like, I sound like shit, and I'm scared. And all these other singers are just bodying me on fucking tour, and I'm like, I find myself hiding, and it wasn't, she never was like, hey, you're a bad singer. She's like, you're just scared and you're straining or you're holding back. She's like, you're wearing these big ass fucking coats that are weighing down on your body. Like you're restricted. And once that like weight got taken off of me, like quite literally, it was like, oh fuck. It stopped being singing a song and it became performing. So that was the big difference. And I would just watch lots of videos of LJ, Seven Dust, and I just can't fucking believe the man's voice. And I would just watch like the greats and just be like, oh, they don't give a fuck. Like they're not just singing, they're performing, and if they hit a flat note, who gives a fuck, because they're iconic, and I wanted that. Shame I haven't got to do it live, but maybe one day. So
So speaking of that, Hunter, what are the plans for, like you said, we're recording this on a Wednesday. The announcement's going to happen in 3 hours. Album announcement, pre-orders, and what are the plans? What are the plans for Moodring post this album?
because of my health stuff, I can't play shows live. It's why I don't play shows with Psycho Frame either. Because God, I would fucking love to. God knows my bills would love it as well. But I'm already sitting on another one, man. I have like 4 songs to finish vocally.
Like a
We did,
full record, you're saying?
yeah,
Holy shit.
we did it in August.
Oh my God.
Austin flew in from LA to my new spot in Atlanta, and we just went for it. I had a bunch more material prepared for this one than I did for Death Fetish. I was just writing to have fun. Um, I basically got this like clone of the fuzz that Ross Robinson used on there's all the fucking lore that no one believes, but on like Life is Peachy, Roots. I mean, it was the same circuit that was built into Andreas's head at the time. Apparently, it makes a feature on Slipknot self-titled as well, like the feedback and shit. It's very distinct. One of my homies sent me a clone of it, and I got really inspired to write with that sound and just threw a fucking Mesa Dulrec. And yeah, I don't know. I stopped. My approach became like way less digital over the last like few years, and when I get a piece of gear that's inspiring, that's generally like, I will pump out a record. So
Dude, it's funny you say that because I just got the Neural DSP, the Soldano
yeah,
sim. That fucking thing sounds incredible.
yeah, it's awesome.
And then I started like just playing with it, and I'm like, dude, like I feel like I'm writing like better riffs just from this amp sim. It's fucking crazy.
New toys are inspiring, dude. I mean, I fucking just got that Randall that's chilling right there. I mean, that's the Randall that was used on Cowboys from Hell and Reinventing the
Oh
Steel and
shit, okay.
Holy
like
shit!
first 3 Crowbar. So I've been sitting here fucking playing Oddfellows Rest songs the last like, week, and I'm
Was
like,
it
damn,
is that a solid state?
yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Good shit, man.
Half my shit on this rack is solid state.
Ain't
Uh,
nothing wrong with a solid state amp.
they're beast. I mean, I'm a death metal guy. That's most of it solid state. So, um, yeah, I just been farting around playing some Crowbar stuff. I don't think you're gonna get any Crowbar sounding music from me ever. But it's fun to play.
So
What?
on the back of that, Hunter,
Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. Go
go
ahead.
on. No, Tim, go.
I just want to keep it like a little bit on the production side, if you don't mind. Like,
Mm.
what is? Well, I mean, that's a. I'm not even going to say that because that's a stupid stock ant question. But I want to like kind of figure out a way to answer this, like, or ask this. Like, I feel like you guys, like in your production, like you guys have this sound where like it's just like, you, for some reason, like I could hear something and be like, Hunter and his team did that. You could just hear it. Like, how did you like? What do you got like? the mix, like it's so hard to ask this, so I don't want to sound like generic as hell, but like the way you guys are mixing stuff, like it's super fucking powerful, man. Like that Psycho Frame record sounds unfucking believable.
It's too far.
It's
Um,
crazy, dude.
it's too. I was just talking earlier about this. There's a lot of discourse around Psycho Frame because as the band grows, so does the talk, right? Um, there's a lot of people that like don't understand that we're playing like really fucking hard to play riffs, like
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
it fucking sucks. God, it hurts. Like I've got to do another one soon, and I'm not looking forward to it. Honestly, I am, but I'm not. The physical execution of it, I'm not, but the conceptualizing of it, I'm very stoked for it. They can't hear it because of the way we mix, and I realized that the other day when I had been away from the record for I don't know, like 6 months or something, and I went to listen to it, and I wrote, however much of the shit, right? And I was like, I don't know what this riff is, and I fucking wrote it. So I was like, so I was like, maybe they're on to something, but I wanted it to be like really aggressive and scooped and just hitting super fucking hard. Brandon, my partner, is fucking phenomenal, and I was very the way we did Psycho Frame is I produced that record, and then when he was mixing it, I was just pretty much behind him, like the claws,
The
being
Bubba
like,
Master.
yeah, like this, take this out, take this up, So maybe that's to my own detriment sometimes. I'd love to send something else to someone and see how it turns out one day.
Yeah,
I think
that'd be interesting.
I think it'd be cool. I've been talking to some people about potentially mixing Moodring LP3. It's funny I'm talking about LP3 as 2 isn't even out, but I've been debating that. I've been kind of thinking about it with Psycho Frame follow up as well. So
Well, I think a lot of it too is like your performances have to be pretty much dead on too, because I think a lot of people forget that like you can't put a shitty performance in and then mix it and make it sound great.
Right.
Not gonna happen.
yeah, I mean that is what's the old cliche? You can't polish a turd,
Yeah.
Yep.
Get it right at the source and then it sounds great.
Sometimes it being shit is cool though. You know what I mean? I
I will say I'm not a black metal fan, but there is some black metal that sounds like it was recorded on a boombox in my sub basement, and it sounds fantastic because of that, right? And
it's the vibes,
yeah, and
if it was hi-fi, it wouldn't work.
it would sound kind of like classless is the only word I can think of. And I mean, I'm a big believer of I like the flubs. I like how in Dead Embryonic Cells Igor speeds up and slows down. Right? I like how Dave Lombardo is notoriously sloppy. Like, and you'll hear parts in Rain and Blood where you're like, oh man, he's all over the place in that. But that's how you know it's honest. As cheesy as that may sound, right?
No, that was a big thing too. About halfway through the recording, or not halfway through the recording, maybe we had maybe I added like one or two songs after this point or something, but I hit this wall with like everything that was going on in my life and health, and it still is going on. But at one point, Death Fetish was amp sims and program drums, like Your Light Fades Away, and I was like, why would I make this like really personal fucking record that is about me dying and experiencing like the most human thing you can fucking experience, and it's not human. So I had to call Austin, and I was like, you're gonna fucking hate everything I'm about to say, because at this point we're still on the other label at this time. I had already like had songs queued up to be on streaming and whatnot, and I went, no, I can't do it. I was like, it's not authentic to what this album is, and we fucking redid all the fucking guitars, live amps, real cabs, all that. Redid all the fucking drums. Yeah, the record was, I think it was done at that point. and then I pretty much gutted it. Also, if you let me sit on something for too long and it's in my control to put it out, I will gut it and keep fucking with it. So yeah.
So
Who played drums?
Hunter is the Stanley Kubrick of audio producing, where given enough time, he will just keep tinkering and tinkering and tinkering and tinkering and
Dude,
yeah.
it's very true.
Who played drums on the record?
On this one, Matt Guglielmo, Acacia Strain, and
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah, he played drums on this one.
So you had everything like what programmed on like Superior or something, and then you're like, "Fuck it, we're doing real drums."
Yeah, I mean, Austin and I are both drum programming fucking wizards. Like, you told me to make you an album worth of drums, I could essentially write your album with programmed drums in an hour. I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's not too far off. So we write it all, and then essentially it's kind of like, hey, this is this, do your thing. You know what I mean? And Matt's performance is fucking crazy. He's basically I've been calling him the Italian Eloy for a while now. So they're both bald and hit really fucking hard. So uh, yeah, the drums turned out fucking crazy on it.
Yeah, I mean the record sounds incredible, man.
I like that it's kind of broken. Like, if I'm being honest, I like when it breaks. Like, it's getting pushed so hard. At one point, it was louder than Death Magnetic, um, and it was like I kept taking it to different mediums, like cars, in headphones. I was like, "This is fucking amazing." And my monitors, I was like, "Oh, it's kind of broken." In a car, you couldn't tell what the fuck was happening. We have to chill this the fuck out a little bit. But it was literally the loudest record I had ever heard it at a certain point. So, um,
Do you
yeah,
do you still have the programmed version?
I've got at least of Half-Life and STFA. I probably do, because those were slated to be singles.
Oh, you need if you can, man, dude, send that Half Life in the amp one if you can,
Yeah,
because
I
I
will.
want to hear
You
the
generally
difference.
curious?
I'm genuinely curious to hear the difference between the program one and the lot, the real
So those
drums
are
and
yeah,
stuff.
so those are like amp sims too, and those versions are much more polished sounding. And what your average listener today would definitely be like, this objectively sounds better. It is more pristine and it is easier to listen to. Well, I didn't want an easy listening experience for this album. I wanted it to be fatiguing. I the vocals are fucking loud on the album. They're extraordinarily loud. That's by design. Um, so it took a while to get done. The weird thing is we started working on it. You mentioned the 3-song EP. We had started working on this before that had come out. It just took forever to get done, between Austin moving to LA, my health being shitty, him flying here, and him becoming way, way bigger as a producer as well. So I was juggling time, like, hey man, come work on my record, and he's working on like actually big records. So I'm like, please help. um, and then of course my midlife crisis of redoing the entire thing didn't fucking help.
I bet it was super satisfying when you were finished, though.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, man!
got to be.
As like a pride thing, it felt so much fucking better. And my friends who are in bands that are very prideful and have a lot of integrity about that kind of stuff as well, like, gave me their nod, like, I fucking told you so. And it's like, you did. It didn't feel like taking the easy way out. So
I mean, it is super easy to just line up Superior Drummer and amp sim, and you can make a record, like you said, in one fucking day. But
yeah,
when you actually, you know, get a cab and mic it, and it takes some skill.
yeah, it's. I mean, Stargazer's like kind of like a hybrid. Like, all the guitars on that are Sims, but the live drums and samples and stuff. Your Light Fades Away is very neural DSP'd and program drummed out, but this one it's fucking not. Like, it's not. the one we're working on after, like we've gone as far as not quantizing drums.
Okay.
which is I love it. I'm sold already. Like that's that rawness, that honesty that comes through where it's like no, and I don't mean to throw shade, right? Because there are certain bands that they need that, but I don't know. Is it maybe because I'm old? Because I like the kind of the flubs and
Yeah, no,
like
you mentioned York earlier. I mean, I fucking love Sepultura. Obviously, I I stop at Roots, but um, yeah, no, I grew up on the good shit. I still listen to the good shit. I find myself wishing I was more tapped into some newer music sometimes because I just keep going back to what I know and what's familiar and what feels good to me. And it is those older, authentic records. And it's not that authentic music doesn't exist now, it just doesn't get the widespread love. Like, it doesn't get the mainstream love that it should.
right. Right. Well, and also studies have shown the music you listen to between the ages of 13 and 19 is the stuff that's most influential to you and your tastes in your life. So I mean it makes sense that we always go back to that stuff. I wanted to
Interesting.
ask you, Hunter. Speaking of that, you were talking about we're never going to see a Hunter Young produced, our Crowbar esque band. What else are you working on nowadays that you can share? Um, you said you've just done the Moodring album. You're already working on the next one. Any other projects out there? Anything else you're messing around with? Different sounds, different genres that you're having a go at?
I've been making this joke for probably the last 6 months that I want to do a yacht rock record. Um, I don't
That
know if it.
documentary is great, by the way. But continue.
I don't know if it's a joke anymore. Um, we just finished working on some stuff for Static Dress. Turned out really fucking cool. Eric from Loathe produced. Brandon and I mixed and mastered. It's really fucking good. I listened to it the other day in the car. It made me cry. So,
That's awesome.
I was like, "Damn, dopamine! There you've been hiding. Found you." Um, so doing that. Supposed to do. I won't say the name of the band. You could probably fill in the gaps. Biggest deathcore band ever, like all time. They're not. They're God, they're probably 20 years old now, but they probably have the most influential deathcore record ever. I'm supposed to do their new record in April. Um,
Oh.
Maybe that gets pushed back a little bit because they're on tour and stuff, and there's some stuff to iron out, and I need a little more help in the studio than I used to. But there's that, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to do too much working on other people's music this year. I mean, we've already knocked out an LP in the first. I mean, what is it? It's today's the
14th, you've done an LP already?
yeah. Um, mixing. So yeah, kind of like got a big one like already out of the way. I can't say what that one is yet, but I've got to finish whatever this Moodring follow up is, whether it's an LP or whether it's broken up into other songs. I've got to do another Psychoframe record. So I don't really know if this year I'll have too much time to work on other people's stuff. I'd love to do another Drown Under Concrete for fun.
Dude, when you just release that out of nowhere, you're like, "Oh, here it is, go at it." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, so Hunter probably just whip this up in the kitchen, and it sounds perfect. Like
uh,
you nail that time, that aesthetic. It just nails it.
so Dave from Psychoframe is the other brain with that. He's very good at it too. So he's just a crazy fucking guitar player, and I've got my moments, but I really just let him loose on that one. So, and it's just the only sample is on the fucking kick because it has to be because it's that fast. The rest of it's not. It's just real, and I don't know. I like that. Um, I just got really sick of everything sounding too good, man. And I'm trying not to go too far because there's like the pendulum swing because of how like in like your pop metalcore land like everything is it's not even metalcore anymore. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. Like it's like pop music but not as good. I like pop music. I don't like what this other thing is over here.
Mm.
It's and that's just a personal thing. I'm happy for anyone making music and getting their bag and surviving in, such a shitty fucking industry. But it's not for me. But then the other pendulum is, like what, way over here is that it's gone so far the other way that it's just exploding, and like it's shrunk to mono, and it just sounds as literally as bad as possible on purpose. Like they're making the source sound worse than it actually is. I want to be somewhere in the middle. So
Okay.
I'd like the sources to be great and not to do much to it.
Okay. You just poked at something, Hunter. I wanted to ask you, as someone who has a lot of names, has a lot of projects come across your desk. Tim and I did our year-end episode a couple weeks ago, and one of the things we were talking about is what trends do we see coming around the corner? So we've lived through the new metal revival. We're now starting to see the early aughts metalcore revival. I'm waiting for the chicks jeans and the swoop haircuts to come back. What, Hunter, do you feel is based upon where you sit and what you hear, what is the next? We talked about, I don't know if this we were recording it. We talked about I Promise the World, right? That Underworld metalcore sound is going to be, I think they're going to be huge. I agree with you. What else is out there? What do you think is going to be the next thing that we're going to start hearing or seeing more and more of?
So, well, it's already happening with. It's very weird. So, if it starts in hardcore, it doesn't seem to last as long as something else. Like if something like comes from the hardcore scene, like such as like your final resting place, that's obviously like way more influenced by like brutal death metal than anything, and it fits in the hardcore space. There's a lot of like that popping up, and there's going to be a lot of FRP clones. I'm interested to see if that stays around as long as like the Maggot Stomp death metal scene did. I'm also interested to see if those bands who are still around transition to that sound. We'll see. I've been watching that for a while, and obviously I still have my friends who are super tapped into hardcore, and a lot of what I hear come across like from them sending me from like newer bands and stuff that's being developed is definitely that kind of thing. Just, it's definitely fucking cool. I prefer it to a lot of stuff. The metalcore revival thing is interesting because this is, in my lifetime, in my tenure of going to shows and being involved in producing, this is maybe the fourth time I've seen it try to happen. So, especially being from Florida originally, this happened in Florida in 2012 to 2015. Like this already happened.
What were you saying? Like a metalcore revival?
Yeah.
Like a real metalcore revival, not the fucking As I Lay Dying bullshit and all that.
Nah, like Drawing Last Breath, which is
there you go.
Yeah, I mean that's and then dude goes on to do so many fucking bands currently, and Scarab and
That's Lennon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gridiron, yeah.
So he goes to do all that. He has that. You know what else we have? Fucking Axis. Axis is from Florida. Axis was fucking incredible.
Yeah, that last album they did was unbelievable.
Dude, the one before is unfucking real. Show Your Greed. I'm still not over it. I mean, you were talking about Turmoil. That's my favorite version of someone doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
I guess this version that's popping up right now is a little more swoopy hair, kind of limp wrist, hand behind the back, thing. So I guess what we're seeing is kind of like that screamo revival that like popped up, mixing with the metalcore revival. It's like almost like it's getting closer to like the fashion core stuff that kind of happened like towards the middle of like that Trustkill era. So
the Scarlet, the Bronx, Norma Jean, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to watch.
It's like the young kids just heard all the Tribunal Records catalog, and they're like, "Oh, we got to do that."
It is interesting, especially to go back to the Psycho Frame thing, because people like to throw the MySpace deathcore thing on it, but the young kids don't like Psycho Frame because it doesn't sound like, and we don't own the moniker of it. We're just like, no, We just do what we want to do. So it is very interesting. You know, there's a lot of reenactments happening currently.
Fair. Kabuki. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like sometimes gold comes from that too, though. You know, I'm not gonna sit here in a fucking nu metal band and act like I'm above it. You know, I wasn't fucking playing shows when Life is Peachy came out. So I wasn't playing shows when fucking any of the records that I listened to all the time came out. So who am I to judge? You know,
That's fair.
yeah.
I think the kabuki part is you're absolutely right. It's a lot of people going through the motions without actually like there was a whole rash of I don't want to say gimmick because I don't want to insult them, but there's some gimmicky bands out there that you can tell that that's not going to have legs. Like good for them, but eventually that trend goes away as fast as it came. Like when you're named after an inanimate object, and that's kind of the whole your whole thing, and all your song titles are in all caps, and there's a particular type of artwork. Look, good. Like again, like you said, get your bag, make your money. Good for you. God bless. Sell a lot of merch and tour.
I love all cap song titles. I can't fucking believe them. Yeah, as much as it's something isn't gonna be this like monumental staple or like game changing piece of music, I've kind of moved on from where I was so jaded in this like hater place to I've spent so much time alone and inside, the last 3 years that maybe it's zen or maybe I'm just fucking there's no chemicals left in my brain, but I'm just if someone's having fun making literally anything, that's fucking
do your thing.
cool.
Yeah, do your thing.
At one point I was like fucking I was lit on fire. I was so angry about TikTok nu metal. And it just fucking made me so mad. And I took a step back and I was like, this was like such a mainstream genre to fucking begin with. This literally was mall music. It's like, what the fuck am I talking about? This is just the new allocation to this. And I'm just not going to show them the shit I really like,
Fair. Yep.
So that was it. It's such a silly thing to be upset about. At the end of the day, it's fucking squiggly air.
Yeah, I want to ask your opinion on this one band because I think there's you brought up a thing about pushing the mold right now, and I think there's one band doing it. Well, obviously there's more than one, but
I think I've got a guess.
For 2025, man, there's this one record that just I could not stop listening to, and it's that Thornhill record. I just feel like that band just pushes the fucking mold, man. That record is absolutely perfect,
dude. I can't say too much about this, unfortunately, but so before I got sick and had to stop touring, we did tour with Thornhill. That video you were talking about earlier is from our tour with Thornhill, actually.
Oh shit, okay.
And I was so sick of getting bodied by Jacob every night on stage because he's so fucking good at singing. Every single time he'd step up, I'd just be like, man, fuck my life, like. And we didn't play after him. It still just sucked. I fucking hated it. And it was a really big driving force to get better. They were just so much better than us. We got them one night. It was Atlanta. And it was after, surprisingly, we were all super fucking hungover. Just rough night the night before. I mean, probably should have went to prison. I remember being in the green room at the venue we played, being like, I need fucking pho or something, like I'm going to die, I'm gonna throw up on stage. And we got him one fucking night. But yeah, they're super sick. We were supposed to, they just did that remix record of their thing. We were supposed to do the first track, but I couldn't do it for reasons. That's all I can say. But yeah, it would have been cool. It's definitely it's a cool record for sure. I think personal opinion, I prefer the one before it a little more.
Oh wow, okay. That is a great record.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Hunter, who did you think he was gonna go with? You said I think you know what album you're gonna name. What album did you think?
It's not nu metal, but it's like really pushing the envelope and like doing their own thing. Callous Cowboys.
Okay, that showed up on
Yep.
a lot of people's lists.
Yeah.
There's a track called Lemon on their newest record that is so fucking good. It's so fucking good. There's other great tracks on there too, and hilariously, Psycho Frame and them just played some dates together, and the fan base has meshed pretty well, and it's it's I don't know. There are bands out there that I do think are doing like legitimate, honest things, and those are the bands that I want Moodring to be associated with versus the I don't even know, like the
The
pop.
the trend of the minute. Let me bite onto this.
Well, no, or just like the pop metalcore stuff that we got associated with, like off rip. It was really weird because we were touring with stuff like that because we needed to go on tour, and it was someone letting us play in front of their fucking fans, right? So how could you say no? But they would just fucking stare at us, and it's interesting because I can talk about this now because I don't need any favors. I don't have to be super nice or be fake because I don't need a tour from anyone, right? It's I don't have to play the game. Um, they'd fucking just stare at us like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'd literally look at our merch guy at the time, and I'd be like, on the mic, I'd be like, "I'll give you $20 to front flip on these fucking kids' heads that are looking at me right now," and he'd do it. I just literally hand him a 20 on stage, be like, "Please." Um, we really didn't fit in that world. Moodring has had struggled a lot to fit into anything. When you see like some of the other stuff, like some stuff is too hardcore for metal, too metal for hardcore. There's so much of that
Mhm.
music that existed in the past, especially. I don't know what the fuck it is with Moodring. People really like to be able to like pin something down like all the way. Like this is what this is, and Moodring is not that band and will never will be.
Are you talking about the Thornhill tour they were looking at you weird?
That one, not as much.
I was gonna say because you guys like it's not that you guys sound the same, but it's the same like direction in my opinion. Like it's the music fits well together. So
I mean, I don't. We definitely like. I think at the time we probably had the same common influence, and they have taken the Deftones influence like further. I mean, Bodies is it's got Diamond Eyes isms all over it.
yeah,
But where we have shed that almost entirely. Um, I want to be my own fucking person. You know what I mean? Like seeing this sounds like Deftones on a song like Cannibals, fucking crazy.
no,
Like
no, no.
Nope.
That
Nope.
record sounds
show me,
nothing.
show me. Um, you know, I no, it was some other tours they would stare at us. Thornhill was definitely better. Um, probably my favorite little run we did as Moodring for sure. Um, it's just a good time, and the billing of the two bands, like people who want to see us, were gonna go to that as well. But yeah, it's like I said, people really like to put something in a box. They like to understand it
Mm-hmm.
entirely. They like to label it down to the fucking whatever fucking analogy I'm looking for right now. And
Oh no, no, no. We know exactly what you're saying. It's like when I think you're about to say like on Show Me the Real You. It's like the comparisons were always like Deftones,
Well,
Deftones.
everybody's always
that
looking for a box that they
I
can
think
put
that was
things in.
I think that one on Show Me is pretty fucking valid. You know, there's
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, and it wasn't even intentional. I wrote fucking the song Gasoline to sound like Chevelle. you know, um, Show Me the Real You. The songs had a good melody written to it, and I was scared to sing loudly. That's why it sounds like that. But there's other tracks on that record or that EP where I'm just straight up biting Deftones riffs. I'm not even meaning to. It's just embedded in my brain. Obviously tried to get away from it a little bit on Stargazer. Um, but yeah, I mean, we even noticed that with Stargazer when it came out. It was like, huh, why did we not get looked at the same way as the other bands around us? It's like, because, well, maybe because you sound like 6 different fucking bands on this album, dude, and like you can't pin it down. It's obviously you've heard Death Fetish. That doesn't get any better. It might get worse. Um, so
Well,
how's that?
I remember you put this post out one day and you were like, "Listen, man, if you think the new Moodring is going to sound like Stargazer or anything before that, you're 100 fucking percent wrong." And I was like, "Oh, I got to hear what this sounds like." And then when you put out Your Light Fades Away, I was like, "Oh, I see what he's going for now." And then you
Dude,
just continued it on the new one. So like you weren't lying at all.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I I don't know. Always forward, never backwards.
Yep.
I maybe when I'm done, I give them the record they want, and I just moan sarcastically over the riffs they want me to pull. I've been talking about this for a long time now, actually. So maybe maybe that's in the future.
He just
You know
drove
what's
on
funny
the whole
is
time, and it's like, here's your Chino record, you
Yeah.
asshole.
do, yeah, yeah, maybe that's how I go out. If you see that coming, you know it's over. 'Cause
Well,
we
I
can't do
told you before, like, on obviously, I mean, and honestly, I wasn't gonna lie about it back then. I wouldn't now. Like, I found you guys from one that Frank the Tank dude covered a gasoline, I think it was, and
Oh, dude.
I was like,
Uh,
who the fuck is this? Because this shit is killer. And then obviously, like we took, like we got you on, and you're, and I was like, yeah, it has a Deftones, kind of thing to it, and you're like, yeah, because
fucking
like the
told me
first
about
time we
it. Yeah.
talked, I was like, yeah, that was shitty to say, but like
No,
at the
that's good.
time, it just reminded me of something like Deftones would put out, and that's why I fell in love with it because like it's my favorite band. So, but your
Yeah, for
progression
sure.
is completely way off of that, and
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think people have a hard time with that because they find stuff that they like and they're like, wait, this isn't Show Me the Real You or Stargazer, and it's like, no, this shit is fucking better. Like and there's nothing against them records, but like the shit now, it's 10 times better than that stuff. And that's not even a rip on that stuff because
I
that stuff's
appreciate it.
great.
I think Stargazer is a good record. I think it's a really safe record. I think it's really safe,
Fair.
and that bothers me. So, like just the whole way it's delivered, packaged, it's just very. I mean, is it a giant fucking step up from the EP? Yeah, like fuck yeah. But it's just really fucking safe. I like the songs that no one likes on that record. That maybe that's kind of my trend though. I'm gonna like all the songs that no one likes on this record. Um, so it's it's really fucking bizarre. People talk about the singles on that one, but they're the furthest thing from my brain when I think about what I care about from Stargazer.
It's funny about that record, like the first half of it, I was always like, "Oh God, so good." But then, as I like progressively listen to it more, like "Head in the Clouds," that song is unbelievable.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, and it does not surprise me at all. That song is fucking unbelievable. Like,
Favorite one and first song written for the album.
oh wow, it's
Yeah.
funny. Like I was outside one night, like starting a fire, and like it just came on shuffle, and I'm like, dude, how did I not realize how good this song was? And then shuffle turns into me like, oh, I'm gonna put that in my
Mhm,
songs of the year list real quick, and
mhm.
it's just like, yep, great song.
That was one of the first instances because that was just I wrote the majority of that instrumental. Austin got a hold of it, souped it up a bit, and when we went to go do vocals in that song, I remember I was like really pitchy that day for whatever reason. Like I just kind of wasn't landing on the notes. And he was like, "Who gives a fuck?" Because he was like, "You just sound excited to record this song. Like you like this song." And we were just recording giant sections of it at one time. And that was one of the first times I felt like I wasn't just singing this thing and that I was, again,
Mhm.
performing, like that I was serving the song. I think that's kind of why it stands out to me versus the rest of the record as well.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all, man.
Mhm.
Fucking great track,
Yeah,
Mhm.
no one gives a shit about it. So,
which is wild.
yeah,
I want to ask you one more question, but I don't think we can ask it on air, honestly.
All
can
right, so
can you
we'll be
promise?
safe. Well, we'll still chat. We can cut it to to keep the guilty, not impugn the guilty or the innocent. So Hunter, we've had you on for almost 90 minutes now. I want to be conscious of your time. So new album is Death Fetish, out 3/27. The by the time this episode is out, the pre-orders will be up.
I want to
What
know y'all.
else?
I want to know what y'all's favorite songs on Death Fetish are.
I've had two listens through. And to me, it's a toss up between, so far, it's a toss up between Cannibal and Masochist Machine. So
Cool.
far. So far.
Cool.
But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to flip the album backwards. So what I will do is I'll do a playlist of the sequencing in reverse, because I'll start the album and then some jackass will call me through Teams and I got to have some fucking work conversation. So I reverse the track list so I can make sure I make the second half even better. But yeah, I got as far as I got one full listen, and then I got all the way up to Oxidized on my second listen, and I like everything I've heard, Hunter. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I know my favorite's gonna change the more I listen, because every time I've listened once with the first time was through a speaker, the second time was through headphones, and I've found different things.
Yeah. Right now, it's very hard to say favorite track, but I will say one thing. When you were putting snippets out of Half-Life, I remember hearing like part of that chorus, and I was like, "Fuck me, man! Like, I need to hear that track." And then when you finally put it out, I was like, "Yeah, that's everything I fucking wanted to hear." To me, I love that you put that as the opener. Is the track list that you sent the
Yeah.
official? I think that you did yourself a great, what's the word, Jay?
Yeah, he did some justice. Yeah.
Yeah, you did yourself well by making that the opening track, because that track is fucking incredible. Like that
Emotion.
chorus, man, and like Jay said at the beginning, if you can't write a chorus, you can't write shit, dude.
Right.
That hook chorus, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely amazing.
And Tim, this album passed the second song test.
Oh my god, yeah.
So Hunter, we have a theory that whenever you get a new album, skip the first track. That's always going to be the best track that the artist thinks they're most impressed with. Go right to the second song and see what they put as the follow up. This album kills it.
It's
It kills it.
it's pretty front loaded in terms of a lot of those singles are up front. Actually, wait, they might all be up front.
Well,
But
your first two are, yeah, right in a row, yeah.
so Masochist comes out today.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
And then yeah, but that wasn't like I think these songs are better. It was I want you to. Austin and I designed it to be side A, side B, and every song had another like song that coincided with it. So I wanted, in theory, you get burnt out in the singles, you go straight to that second half of the record.
That's awesome.
Because most time people don't even listen to the second half. So
Which, I mean, we could have an entire episode about how attention spans have changed, how people consume records has changed.
Yeah.
Tim and I are always yelling at people on these shows. Get yourself a pair of wired headphones. Listen to shit. Get off. Don't second screen it. Put the fucking thing on. Close your eyes and just listen. And you see an entirely different world. There was an album I just listened to on the plane on the way back, which I had never listened to on headphones, and I picked up so much other shit. I was like, oh, I got to go back and listen to more of this. But yeah. So, all right, Hunter. Again,
One other thing.
go on.
I know you said that, part of your influences on the record were like some Static X. Was, to me, I find that most prevalent in Cannibal. I hear that song and I'm like, this reminds me of something Static X would do.
yeah,
Not the whole track, but like that track to me, because I fucking love Static X. Like the two new records that they done, past Wayne, I think are incredible.
dude, they're still so fucking good. I missed. I've now missed Fear Factory Static X. I've now missed Mudvayne Static X. I've now missed Seven Dust Static X. So fucking kill me.
You talking about tour wise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like in the last 2 fucking years. So I never got to see him with Wayne. It sucks, but yeah, Cannibal is definitely one of those. Cannibal was like trying to combine that kind of sound with like, what if like Orgy was really fucking heavy? So I guess that kind of is the same thing, same ingredients. where it's much more industrial versus new metal. It's more industrial than jump the fuck up. So
Yeah.
and then in Mass Kiss Machine, that's definitely got some Static X in there, Rick, where it's definitely has some evil disco vibes. So
Love that.
yeah.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. New album, Death Fetish 327, a Moodring. The pre-orders are going to be up by the time you hear this episode. Go check them out. Hunter, people want to find you, want to find some of your projects, where they want to maybe have you look at some of their work. Where do they go?
My socials for everything are at Hunty Young, HUNTIYOUNG. Everything Moodring is at Moodring Rock. Everything Psychoframe is at Psychoframe D as in dog, C as in cat.
All right. Hey, everybody. On behalf of Hunter, Tim, and myself, I want to thank you for tuning in, watching, listening. On behalf of Tim and myself, we really want to thank Hunter for taking some time. When he texted me and said, "Yo, I lined up Hunter. He's coming on Wednesday." I'm so stoked. You guys know where to find us on the socials. We're not going to ride off all this bullshit. New episodes every Wednesday. See you next time. Cheers.
Later.
Peace.